Alright, just wanted to make a quick video of how to maintain your mushroom clusters when they start popping up in the garden. As you can see, we inoculated this pot. I threw a very small amount of spawn in here, so I'm actually extremely surprised that this is even happening right now. But since these started coming up, we're gonna just give them a nice dose of water, since they need a lot of water to grow, and these guys are in full sun right here. We're just gonna keep them really well hydrated until they get to their full growth potential. And I will update y'all when we harvest. But that's how you nurture a mushroom cluster. Just give it some water. One other thing I wanted to mention really quickly is that when it is full sun, meaning that there are no clouds in the sky for the day to be protected, or if it's just getting blasted with full sun all day, what I'll do is I'll put a pot like this over with a rock on top just to protect it from getting blasted by the UVs and drying out. And this tends to help a lot. And then whenever we water it, I open it up, lift it off like that. And overnight, sometimes I'll just leave it like that too. But climate dependent. Protect your mushrooms if you need to. Okay, so day 3 of this cluster forming, looking beautiful. I've been watering it every morning and evening, and it's supposed to be a very sunny day today. So, need some more water. And I haven't mentioned yet, but this is in our potter with all of our other herbs in it. So we got Johnny Jump Ups, have some rosemary, lavender back there, all sorts of different things, and they just coexist with all these beautiful plants. Such a cool thing. We'll probably harvest this one in about a day, so I'll just continue to keep you guys updated with how I'm caring for it. Since it has gotten larger, I have found a larger pot to put over it for the day with a rock weight. I'll be squishing the rosemary a little bit, but it'll be worth it to save this cluster, and I'm sure the lavender will be just fine, or the rosemary will be just fine. Cool. I'll update you guys when it's ready to harvest in about a day. Alright, so it is day 5 since I originally saw the cluster start to form in here, and we've been nurturing it every day. So let's take a look at it together. Oh yeah, that is a beautiful oyster cluster there. That is the Salida pearl oyster that we cloned from a spot in Salida a few years back. And it loves hanging out with our plants. So again, this is just in a planter. Pretty standard, like, planter for herbs. Lots of different herbs growing in here, but the mushrooms are symbiotic with all of it. So they're coexisting, and this cluster should plop out pretty nicely. Oftentimes, if it was in this situation, I would cut it at the base. But I kind of want to see what it looks like underneath here. All right. And just snapped off the base there. Obviously, we have a little bit of cleaning to do. There is the base of it where it fruited out from. And just a tiny hole, but as you can see, no damage to these plants or anything. And these plants are gonna continue to thrive. We'll just mulch back over that area, give this cluster a little cleaning when we get into the mushroom farm, and she's ready to eat. So oftentimes when there's one fruiting, there's others. And since we tend to inoculate kind of around the same time, I'll inoculate like 2 or 3 things at once. Once one thing starts to fruit, I'll check out my other zones. So let's take a look. Oh yeah, look at that beauty. Beautiful cluster. This is another potter. This is from like a huge tree that one of my friends got, and he gave me this pot. So I just dumped a bunch of spawn in here and wood chips. I made a whole video on this, but this is still fruiting. We've harvested multiple times from this now. This has been very productive. And yet another beautiful oyster cluster. I'll clean this one up too. Just wanted to show everyone really quickly as well the difference in color. So this one was very, very well nurtured in the greenhouse. It had this shade cloth over it pretty much the whole time, and it didn't see a lot of sun, so that's why it's a lot whiter than this one, which fruited out in the planter, which was basically exposed to full sun, southern facing, and it got much more pigmented from the UV, from being exposed to the UV radiation. So the difference in color is beautiful, but just environmental factors. All right, I just wanted to show you guys how I typically clean the bases of these mushrooms after I pick them, because obviously they're pretty dirty coming out of the ground. So what I like to do is I like to use a serrated knife. Everybody's different. Some people like to use different types of knives, but I'm not good at sharpening my knives, so the serrated tends to work the best. Has the most longevity without having to sharpen it all the time. That being said, I do recommend sharpening your knives because it makes mushroom cutting way easier. Anyways, we just have to get this base off, which can then go into the compost, but basically I just start cutting essentially in the least safe way possible towards my hand. But I do recommend being as safe as possible because I've cut my hands so many times, but this is just kind of the way that I've found to be the easiest for me, and I'm okay with getting cut a little bit, so it is what it is. But yeah, be really safe when you're using these. They can slip through the base really easily and cut into your hand, so it's probably best to like lay it down on the plate like this and then chop the pieces off like that. And then sometimes the oysters will break apart like that. That's just natural. That's how they form. But yeah, the outdoor ones are going to be a little bit dirtier, but it doesn't matter. Dirt's not going to hurt. That's actually where a lot of important nutrients and minerals are. So it's actually cool that they're coming out of the soil. They're much more biodiverse this way. They're, in my opinion, probably most likely higher in medicinal compounds growing outside like this, being exposed to the UV radiation and building its immune system against bugs and other pathogenic fungi and things like that. But yeah, so you just clean off the base, and then this can go back into the compost. You can actually use this to re-inoculate. If you stick this in the right place, it will actually recolonize and start eating mulch or leaf litter or whatever type of organic matter you put it on. You could stuff this between two sterilized pieces of cardboard and propagate your own Salida oyster from our propagation of the Salida oyster. Lots of possibilities. It's really cool. But yeah, just clean the base off, compost it, do whatever you want with it, and that's how you clean your mushroom cluster. Thanks for watching.